All right, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. So, I got an email from a subscriber, and I have my speaker here who's gonna, say the question. Then we're gonna sort of discuss this, question and get to the bottom of this. You feel me? So go ahead. You can start.
All right. So the message says, Good morning. First, I want to say I love your channel.
Nice.
My boyfriend, and she puts this word in quotes.
Okay.
My boyfriend has always been a very strong alpha male and different than most men I've met. Almost too brutally honest, but it has been what has kept me intrigued the past 2 years. However, I'm kind of confused with our situation. His thought process on dating and relationships is almost identical to everything you talk about with the Bad Boy Club. Therefore, I think your input on this would be helpful. We have been seeing one another for almost 2 years now. We get along super well and consider one another best friends, and our sexual attraction is awesome. We have similar interests and have a blast hanging out. He's my ideal man, except for one issue. We do not see eye to eye on dating and relationships.
Okay.
Throughout the last 2 years, I have found out about him talking with multiple women. Since he has that strong alpha aura about him, women are highly attracted and drawn to him. He will give his number out and text them for a while, sometimes makes plans to hang out with them. But he doesn't end up following through, and then he blocks their number. He stated he does not know why he does this, but since seeing me, he can't actually follow through with seeing them, so he blocks their number. I appreciate his honesty and asked what I could do to help. He told me he has never been faithful with just one woman until him and I started to get more serious. He said I act like his best friend and never made him feel like it was a chore to be with me, so I made it easier for him, and about 1 year in, he tried to commit on his own accord, and then later he said he couldn't do it. He claims he doesn't believe in titles besides marriage. He now says that he is not talking with anyone else or hanging out with anyone else besides me, and would like to actually get married, but just doesn't want a boyfriend-girlfriend title because he feels it will take away the friendship mindset I have and lead me to stop acting like a person he can have fun kicking it with and start to make me act more of those annoying girlfriends. She puts that in quotes. I know you have stated don't put pressure on men to commit. However, I feel a sense of loyalty to him and truly enjoy our time together. So I don't know what to do. I'm confused because he says he's only sleeping with me and seeing me, but doesn't want a title. Should I take his word for it that he's not talking to other women and stick it out? Or should I start dating other men since technically we are not in a committed relationship? Sorry for the long message.
Okay, so that's man, there's a lot going on in there. So the thing is, what it seems like, right, is that he likes the idea of being with her, but he doesn't want to actually commit to any type of like title or
commitment.
Well, he is sort of committed to her, but he's not really committed to her as far as like we're labeling this. Yeah. So they're just sort of dating. They're just sort of seeing each other. But she said it's been like 2 years. You know what I mean? So the thing is with a lot of these guys who are alpha males, because this is the thing, alpha males are the guys that are the most desirable generally to women. Therefore, alpha males have more options than beta males or any, you can say any other type of dude, right? So the thing is, it's like he likes the idea of all the attention he's getting from other women, but at the same time, he likes that stability with you. The girl that he's with, the girl that wrote the email. But at the same time, he doesn't want to commit to a label because the labels sometimes mean that the dynamic might change. Because right now, it's okay for him to sort of flirt with other girls and everything like that, but then he might lose that if he gets the commitment.
Right, and she might act like an annoying girlfriend.
Right, you see what I'm saying?
He might feel that, like, extra layer of pressure that he's not looking for.
Right, but see, the problem with this situation, and I always notice this in just a lot of situations where people are dating and they're not really together, but they give off the energy as if they are together. So what I'm saying is that him and her are dealing with each other as if he's saying, well, I'm talking to these girls, but I'm not really doing anything, so I'm not cheating on you. You understand?
Yeah.
Right, but we're not together, so I can't really cheat. And which is why she's also saying, well, we're not technically together, so I could see other guys.
But
right?
should I?
But should you?
And
right.
That's the question.
Right. And see, my thing is this. I think that she should see other dudes.
Same.
And I think that she because the thing is this. I feel like he if he's not really actually doing anything with these girls, I mean, I don't believe that he's not. You understand?
Same.
But but let's say for the sake of argument, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's not actually doing anything. He's just like flirting with them. At some point, he's going to end up doing something.
Yeah.
At some point, if he's not doing it now, he's going to end up doing something.
Yeah.
And so, and the fact that it's been 2 years, he's not ready to take that step to actually make it into an official thing with him and her. So the thing is, he's not ready. She obviously likes him. You know what I mean? She's with him. And I would say to her, stay with him, have fun, do your thing, but also do your thing outside of that. You understand? And also tell him that, hey, you can do your thing too. You don't have to like block these girls or whatever you think you're doing. You see what I mean? But see, the problem with that too also is that he might feel a certain way with her saying that because he probably feels comfortable with knowing that she's not, going around messing with other guys. So the dynamic might change if she does mess with other guys and lets him know she's messing with other guys. You see what I mean? So,
but that's something he will have to accept.
Right, something that he has to sort of like deal with.
Because he knows he can't commit to just seeing her.
Right. So
and I think that's I don't know. I guess I'm just looking back over these words and thinking that she said something he really appreciates about her is that she never made him feel like it was a chore to be around her.
Right.
And about and he likes that about her. And if she shifts that, it's going to shift
the
how
situation.
he feels about her.
Right.
Right? Something he appreciates about her is how good they have a really good thing going on. Clearly this is a really good thing for both of them.
Right.
And then if she shifts it and puts on demands that he's not ready for, it's not going to be as good.
Right.
And the way I see it is like, enjoy what you have with somebody. Don't try to make it something else that won't be as good.
Right. Well, also too, because you mentioned how saying that you shouldn't pressure guys, right? So.
And that's something he likes about her.
Right. So the thing is that the fact is they're both seeing each other. They're both spending time with each other.
Yeah.
So all the things that you might want in a committed relationship where he and you and him are together, you're getting it now. It's just that there's no label and there's no rule as to if you and him can see other people or not.
So maybe that needs to be clarified.
But at the end, that could be clarified. But also too, I think what she needs to understand is that she needs to understand that he has to be ready to want the commitment. You understand? Now that may take another year, it may take another 5 years, or it may mean he will never do it. You see what I'm saying? So that's the gamble that she's gonna have to take. You see what I mean?
I mean, I feel like.
What?
Sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting.
No, go ahead.
I'm just thinking. I feel like I was in a really similar place to her. Maybe like 6 years ago with my husband, who at the time was just like, I want to see other women, but we had a really good thing, and he did kind of like mention marriage a few times, and I was like, what the fuck? We're just messing around. Like, why would he say that?
Yeah.
He clearly doesn't want to commit to me, even though we have a good thing going on.
Right.
And I think that's something that men can really appreciate, but it's hard from the woman's end to follow through.
Right.
Right? Because we want to be really good and we want to respect our man's need, especially if we're with an alpha man.
Right.
Right? We want to respect his need to see other women, and the fact is it's part of that reality that men especially I guess I don't know what the definition of alpha men really is.
Yeah.
But I do get the sense that for the majority of men, feeling good in life and feeling fulfilled in a relationship means you also get to fuck other women on occasion.
Right.
Like, I think that's what makes a relationship ideal.
And well,
and I'm not saying it's easy from the woman's perspective.
Right.
But I think that you can keep your relationship really good with someone if you keep those expectations realistic.
Right.
Right? I want to be with you. I want us to be partners. I love what we have. We have a good thing. But, you know, I'm gonna understand that part of keeping it good is me not forcing you to a commitment that you're not comfortable with.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. That's the thing I wanted to say, is that for the guys who are the alpha males, the guys who are the most desired guys, like, look, if you're a guy, for guys who know that they can get a lot of women, for guys who know that they are attractive to a lot of women, right? It's hard for them to just be with one woman. Yeah. Generally, there's always exceptions, like, you know, because what most women are looking for is that alpha male that they can have to themselves. The hard part is that in order to get the guy who will just stay with you in that monogamous fashion, usually isn't the alpha male type of guy. Usually, you know, in the case that you get that, that's, you know, something that just sort of is like a rare occurrence in most cases, or unless that guy has been through a lot, because it could be this guy could be the same way, where if he's been with a lot of women or dealt with a lot of women, he could at some point say, you know what, I've been in that, I'm good with just staying with who I'm with now, which could be her. But at the same time, it's hard for those type of guys to give up all of that, you know, attention that they're getting from women. You know what I'm saying?
Not because they don't love you,
right,
or don't want to be with you. And I think that's really hard for women to understand, because we just see partnerships so differently.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But to understand that the male mindset can be, I'm really into this woman. I really want to be partners with her for life.
Right.
But I'm not sure I'm going to be comfortable being confined to this
one thing, right?
Of where I only get to be with her, and as much as I want to be with her, right? And it's like that. What is that cheesecake scenario where you say, "Oh, my favorite thing to eat is cheesecake," right? You can enjoy cheesecake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Damn, it's so good. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Shit, I kind of want to just eat some cereal.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, God, it's getting to be Friday.
Right.
I really like cheesecake. I want to marry cheesecake. But I kind of want to eat something else.
Right.
On occasion.
Right.
Right. And after a little while, as much as you want the cheesecake, you don't want the cheesecake ever to leave you, but you do want to be able to eat something else. And it's just something I guess that women have to accept about men.
Right.
And find a way to make it work, right?
Right. Well, and that's the thing, again, like, you know, I think in this situation, right, I think she has to accept that who she's dealing with.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so if at any point he says, hey, I want to just be with you, I want to, you know, be your boyfriend, I want us to be together, then that's just going to happen naturally. But the thing is, it's like you can't really force it. From what it seems like now, he seems like he's not there. And, you know, I think she has to be prepared to accept that he may never get there. But then also, if he does get there, right, understand that it might take a long time. You know what I'm saying? So if she's okay with dealing with that, then cool. But as far as when it comes to her dating other men, I would say this: date other men if you desire to date other men at this point. Don't date other men because you feel like you're supposed to, because he's messing with other women. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because
then if you're doing it that way, you're doing it only based off of being reactive to what he's doing and not necessarily doing it because you want to do it, which within itself doesn't really bring authenticity to the situation that you're in with the guy that you're dealing with. You see what I'm saying?
With any of them, yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So it has to be that. But at the end of the day, I feel like she just has to accept the guy that she's dealing with. one. Understand that it could be a chance he may never, get out of that mode that he is. Understand that if he does get out of it, it could take time. It could, could happen tomorrow. It could happen 2 more years from now. You don't know. You understand? So you have to accept that part of the game and understand if you want to be with him, this is what you have to deal with. And I think that's the underlying thing that women need to understand is that the type of guy that you're dealing with, based off of how he is and where he's at, if you want to be with him, you have to accept him where he is and where he's at. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And be okay with that if you want to be with him.
Yeah.
And see, because he, even within the email, he had that fear of her becoming the annoying girlfriend, her switching up, her changing up. And this is what a lot of guys feel when they know that it could get to that point. You see what I'm saying? And so, and also too, because I know there's going to be women who are watching this saying, oh, but that's crazy. And, he must not love her because if he did, then he would, he would just be with her and he wouldn't want to talk to any other women and this and that. And for you ladies out there watching this, what I want you to understand, I really want you to understand this, is that, and I think Chris Rock said this, and I think this is extremely true. He said, a man is only as faithful as his options. So a lot of times if you have your girlfriends or your other female friends who have husbands or boyfriends who are faithful or who seem faithful, it's because usually those guys don't have that many options. And if you actually take an honest look at those guys, generally, those
you'll be like, oh, I know why they don't have
exactly.
options.
You would see, okay, yeah, that right. You see what I'm saying? So even those guys, if they get a chance to be with another woman, they might jump at the opportunity.
Yeah.
So imagine if you have a guy who is faithful to his wife or girlfriend, but he does get the opportunity to mess with another woman, and then they end up doing it. Think about a guy who has hundreds of options because he is that much so attractive to so many women. Yeah. That's going to be harder for him to stay faithful. So if you're dating that guy and you want to be with that guy, you have to understand that this is what comes with dating that guy generally.
Part of the territory. It's
part of the territory of dating a very desirable man.
But it doesn't mean that he doesn't want to be with you.
Right. Because this is the thing. If you find
understand that mindset.
Right.
Men versus women.
Right. Because if you find a guy who's like, because think about it, if you think he's very attractive, if you are that extremely attractive, then what makes you think other women won't be? And the thing is that since he's so desirable to a lot of women, you have to understand that even though he may care for you, love you, appreciate you, it's still hard for him as a man to give all that up. And if you do find a guy like that, who is that alpha male, who's that very desirable guy, and he actually does want to just stay with you and he's only with you, then consider that rare and you consider yourself lucky because it's usually not that way.
And I don't know about you, Mr. Lucario, but I don't know any men who have the options
right.
and are just going to be like, no, I really just don't want those other options.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, maybe initially when it's still like when the relationship is still fresh, but 5 years in, 10 years in,
yeah,
they just want some other. They just want some cereal.
He just wants some cereal.
I'm just saying. 10 years in.
Right. No, I agree. And so that's the hard truth that I think a lot of women sort of need to understand.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, and this is why, open relationships are so a little bit more popular nowadays because I think more people are sort of just getting into it, like just saying, look, this is the reality of the situation. You know what I mean? This is why you have so many people who get into relationships and then, the guys end up cheating or sometimes even the women end up cheating because of this dynamic. So, it is what it is. So I would say for her, if you want to date other guys, or if you're saying should you date other guys, only do that if that's something you want to do, and also that should be a conversation you have with the guy you're with, because then because right now they're having this situation where it's sort of like this pretend monogamy, this pretend commitment, because now if she's dating another guy and he finds out, he'll probably get mad, but he doesn't really have a right to get mad because they're not together.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But
And they didn't have that conversation.
right, but they didn't have that conversation. But the dynamic is as if they are together, so then it sort of could be looked at as a problem.
And it's good to clarify.
Right. So what I'm saying is that if she actually wants to date other guys, she needs to have the conversation. If she has no desire to date other guys, then just whatever, and that doesn't really need to be even a conversation.
Yeah.
Now, with the thing with him again, if she really wants to be with him, just stay with him how he is right now. Like they're together, they're having fun, they're hanging out, everything's cool. Do that, because it's hard to find people you actually like anyway. So you like him, stay with him and stay with him. And then lastly, like I said before, is that be prepared to understand that he may never change. To understand that he could change, but it could take a while, or it could be whenever, random. You never know. And if he does say to you at some point, hey, I want us to be together. I want to be your boyfriend, or whatever it is like that. Understand that's usually only going to come through how everything is flowing right now at this moment, because now he's like, I like what's going on now, which is the reason why probably he's been with her for 2 years, because she's so understanding, and he's so understanding of where he's at and what he's trying to do, which is why he's like, oh, I like, this, and there's no pressure and all this other stuff. So that needs to sort of continue in order for you to even get to the point where he might even switch up and say, I want to be with you. You see what I mean? So.
And I'm also, can I just add also, Mr. Lucario, I'm hearing you say, you don't have to have this conversation if you don't want to. And I mean, I kind of agree, but I also feel like maybe this is just personal. I like things to be more clear, just because I don't like having tension in relationships. I don't like having the conflict.
Right.
So for me, I prefer to, if I'm dating somebody and if I was in this situation, I think my preference would be to bring it up in such a way as to say, I want to make this relationship sustainable, because we have something really good going on.
Right.
And I think that I'm just going to throw it out there as an option. We could possibly make it more sustainable if we allow the possibility that we both might hook up with other people, and just figure out what would the boundaries be for that.
Right.
Right. And I know for me, generally it means I don't want to know. Right. Let's just like, as if I don't know, the less I know about that stuff, that's pretty good.
Right.
But you have to figure out what's good for you.
Yeah.
In your relationship.
I agree. So, yeah, that's a lot for you to think about.
But I hope it works out.
Yeah, I know, right? So keep us posted, okay? So we are out of here. Remember, ladies, go to my website, hewantsyou.com, so you can get my free audio program, 7 Highly Effective Steps for Finding and Keeping a Man. I'm out of here, and remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.